darkness and light collide, two flames burn eternal. From the sacred halls of Freemasonry to the roaring highways of the Widow's Sons comes a brotherhood forged in truth, honor, and fire. This is no ordinary podcast. This is the voice of the craft, reminding you that the sun never sets on the Widow's Sons. From the heartland of America, welcome to the Two Burning Tapers podcasts with your hosts, Skittles and Gilligan.
Brothers of the craft, light your tapers and fire up those engines, because tonight we've got a special one for you, all the way from the East Coast, where the asphalt never cools and the brotherhood runs deep. We're joined by none other than Brother Mavrick from New Jersey. He's a writer, a mason, and a man who brings that Garden State grit and fire to everything he does. He lives the motto, faith, hope, charity, and the open roads. So buckle up, tapers. This ain't your average conversation. This is the Brotherhood in motion. This is the Two Burning Tapers with Brother Mavrick in the house. Welcome, brother.
What's up?
Oh, yeah. Brother Maverick. Nice.
Awesome. Thank you.
How's the weather way up north in there, buddy?
It's fall season up here, right? Getting towards the tail end of riding season. But I ride all year round.
Nice. So you put snowmobiles and all that shit on your motorcycle so that way you can ride down the road, right?
Yeah. Cold weather gear. That's it.
Cold weather gear. But I got cold weather gear on right now, and it was like 57 degrees this morning going to work. I had my heated gear, heated gloves on. I'm over like, shit, that is cold. What the hell did I think? Can't imagine up there up north. But by God, Brother Maverick, we like to start on this journey of yours and see how Freemasonry found you. How old were you when you found Freemasonry found you?
That's a great question. I wish I would have preemptively answered that. So I became a Mason in 2012. I'm currently 40 right now, so you guys can do the math because I'm not good at that.
Same, buddy. Same. That's all right.
Nice.
2012 to 2022 is 10. We'll add another 3 on that. 13 years.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah,
there you go. You became, I'm assuming, in New Jersey is where you became a Master Mason?
Yes, sir. Yep.
All right.
But funny how that started. I was, I'll be honest, I wasn't Mason quality at the time. I was hanging out at a bar, and this older gentleman would come in a tuxedo, right? And he would come in a tuxedo, and he would just it was just like a movement when he came in, right? Like people would introduce him and shake his hand and all this and that. And then, me and the boys are sitting at the end of the bar, and are like, who the hell is this guy, right? So
he had that swagger for the younger guys out there, right?
Right.
He just had that light. He just had that beacon of light or whatever that was just hanging right on him, right?
Right, exactly, right? So I went to go talk to him, and he would come and buy the bar out. Like he would just buy rounds and he was just lighting it up, right? So one day I got to talking to him, and he tells me, he goes, "Oh, I'm part of an organization." He goes, "But let's finish this drink and come back, next month, and we'll talk about it." And then the next month happened, and it took at least 4 or 5 months to get this guy to break and be like, "Hey, I'm a Freemason," right? He didn't come out and say it or whatever. I guess he wanted to get to know me more. And then finally he came. He goes, "Hey, there's a lodge right down the street from here." And I'm like, "What's a lodge?" Right? Like, what are you talking about right now? So.
Right.
He goes out, and then he told me about the craft little by little, what we do, what we're about, the philanthropy part of it, the community part of it. It was really interesting at the time, but I'm back then I was still growing, I guess, to keep it PC or whatever, you know what I mean? I didn't doing, I didn't, just living for the day, right? So finally, fast forward to that, gives me a petition, and he tells me, "Hey, I want you to hand it to the secretary. Secretary's here. it was a mission to find that secretary. Like, I don't know if they were messing with me. At one point, I was like, "Oh, no, this ain't like, he's just fucking with me, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." Um,
No, you're good.
yeah, and then finally I found a secretary and he goes, "Nah, this ain't the place for you. There's another lodge, in a neighboring town. Why don't you go try over there?" Didn't even take my application, right? So now we're going on like month 8, month 9,
Mhm.
and I see the guy at the bar again, and I told him what happened. He goes, "Ah, all right, give me your application." And then within like a week, I get a phone call. Throw a suit on. I'll bring your dues money and application money with you, and then be here this night. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay. No warning whatsoever what was about to happen. I was getting my EA degree and didn't even tell me.
Right.
So I
Right.
show up, I do that. It was great. So I did the EA, and in 3 months, my fellow craft happened. So it was
Okay,
a little late.
did you have to put that stuff to memory? In New Jersey, you have
Oh
to do
yeah,
long form?
and back then was long form. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
long form, so you probably had
Yeah.
I wanna say an interpreter, but that's the wrong word. You had a brother you leaned on, and you went back and forth on, your study work, right?
yep, had to because we're cryptic too. I mean, it's in uh, man, I can't think of the word right now, but it's in cipher. Sorry, it's
There you
a
go, yeah, cipher words,
yeah.
cipher book.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
and it wasn't because of me, it took 3 months, it's because of the other guys that are coming with me, they couldn't catch up. So then I get
Understand.
my fellow craft, and the worship master is, "Hey, I want you to come with me," right? And again, I don't know anything. Worst brings me to another lodge and was like, "This is my fellow craft," and there's like 5 other candidates there now. He's gonna recite the book for you. I'm like, "What?" Like, I don't know these people. Why you bring me to another lodge to recite a book? And
Right.
then, um, and then like a month after, I got my master mason. And here's where the journey starts. The real journey starts, right? I got my master mason degree. I'm going downstairs to the dining room because we do dinner after, and a fight breaks out, right? And
At the
at the
in the
lodge,
lodge?
a fight breaks out, right? And in the back of my mind, I'm like, what? Right? What's going on? But I was the closest to it. So I separate the two. I grab one guy, and he goes, you know, you just put your hands on a past master. You'll never become a master mason. This and that, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, you were roughing this guy up, and he's like 80, 90 years old. You're like, he with a cane. So I was like, oh man, I worked through all this, and now I'm not going to be a master mason. This and that, blah, blah, blah. I left. I left because it was just a hectic moment. Well, fast forward, the fight was over a hot dog.
A glizzy? Over a glizzy?
Easy, bro. Yeah.
Dang. Hey,
And
sometimes people get a little heated over certain things.
right, right, yeah, and I get a phone call from the master, and he's like, "Listen, I really apologize what you did. I know what was said, and it was really valor of you for what you did and jumped in there. There was several other brothers downstairs, and they didn't do anything, and you protected one of our older members." And I was like, "Man, I threw it all out the window."
You're right, like, "Oh, no, 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 I worked so hard for this."
Right, right, right. So then, yeah, and then I was like, I don't know about this, like that was a rough start, but I stuck with it a little bit. Started traveling. I mean, we have something here in New Jersey called the Greeley Award. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
It's kinda like uh, uh, give it a example or explain it for some of our members
It's
that
like
don't
a
know.
traveling
Yeah, the
beehive.
Greeley Award in New Jersey is I don't know what a beehive is, to be honest. I don't know if this makes me a bad mason, but the Greeley Award gives you like an award at the end of the year if you do certain things. Certain things that when I became a Mason, it was like expected of you, right? So like to travel PA degree, travel to a fellowcraft degree, go to a master
Right.
Mason degree, or attend these many lodges. Um, oh man, I forgot where I was going with this. Anyway, um,
It happens a lot on my side. I
so
would say
mhm,
in Kentucky, we kinda have the same thing. We have in our lodges, we have an award program, so that way, like if our lodge goes to so many EA degrees, or we take so many brothers to a lodge and we get the traveling gavel back to us, we get an award from the Grand Lodge
Oh yeah.
itself. So I don't know if that's kind of the same
Nice.
thing you're talking about. I don't know if it comes from your Grand Lodge or if it comes
Yeah.
from individual
Ours is
lodges
called
itself.
the Award of Excellence.
There you go, award of excellence. That's what ours is as well.
Nice. Yeah. I think we have we do have the traveling gavel as well. But yeah, it's given by Grand Lodge. And oh, so I remember where I was going with it. So
There you go.
I was doing the Briley Award without knowing I was doing it, right? Traveling and
Right.
all this and that. Um, and then I always rode motorcycles, right? Um, I got my license. I got legal way after, but I always rode motorcycles, always had sport bikes and all this and that. So never thought of combining the two ever, right? Until I met this guy on a bike and he's wearing a Widow Son's vest. And he ended up joining the lodge I was at, and I was like, "Hey, tell me more about that, right?" And he was like, "Well, we're a Masonic riding group, and maybe you'll get to join, right?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I went out to a couple of their poker runs, and I loved what they were doing, right, and what they were about. So during COVID, I joined the Widow Sons.
2020.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it took a while. Yeah,
Everything fucking shut down then.
right.
Everything took
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah, but guess who were out? I mean, motorcyclists, right? I mean, it was a solitary thing to do, and
Yep. They
you
couldn't
know,
tell us no because we
right.
always stop at the gas stations.
Yep. Yeah. Just as long as the gas station was open, right? Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so then the first chapter I joined was Anchor and Art. And they're based out of Central Jersey because that's where I was living at the time. And for the most part, again, my first chapter I joined, it was great and all this and that, but I wanted to do more, right? And my chapter was was more of a supporting chapter than initiating chapter, if that makes sense, as far
Right.
as philanthropy, right? So
Right.
I started volunteering myself and inadvertently volunteering the chapter to do things. And you know,
You couldn't get a lot of members that way when they're just kind of a support versus trying to jump in kind of.
right, right,
Yeah.
yeah, and I ended up jumping to Grand Chapter of New Jersey because they were doing they were just doing so much and a lot more. And at the
Mm.
time, the state president was the president of Grand Chapter, so like everything just streamlined. It was great. It was
Right.
perfect. Yeah, so that's how I ended up in Grand Chapter of Widow Sons. And then we had our first branding here in New Jersey, right? Our first gathering, I guess.
Right.
And
Right. Right.
that's
First
where,
rally.
yep, yep, that's where I got my brand, right?
Mhm.
Oh my God, what's wrong with me?
It's the camera. It always
You got
happens. It's all
this.
good. All good.
Wait, hold on, it's a good time. Okay, that'll help.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay,
Soda.
perfect. Garage
Yeah.
gear. Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
garage gear, yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, good stuff. Um, and it's been like such a great experience with the Widow Sons, to be honest. Because once I hit
Mhm.
Grand Chapter, we're doing all the philanthropy stuff, and after our first branding, I started meeting so many people across the nation. Um, Matter of fact, one time when we did, you guys know about the Tennessee Cave degree, right? That they do every
Yep.
year, and then we
Yep.
do the branding after.
We've been there.
Um,
Were
yeah.
you there this year?
Unfortunately, I wasn't. I wasn't. The East really cramps your style as a widowed son, you know?
It really does.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand.
Speaking to all you guys there, he is a past master, or excuse me, a current sitting master of his lodge currently. What lodge number again? What was that? Lodge number?
Holly number 14.
No, ooh, number 14 out of New Jersey.
Yeah.
Dang, you're sitting in an old lodge. What do you know the year it was? Um, I want to say incepted, but that's probably the wrong word.
17 something.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, that again, the camera fuzz, brain
Yeah,
fuzz.
yeah. Hey, it's all good. I was gonna say it's gonna have to be pretty close up there with like Philadelphia because they're like 1772, 17. It was before, like right before the United States came to the United States. I
So
do
here
remember
comes the
that.
first shameless plug. You ready for this? Since we brought up
Yeah,
Mahali. So I wanted to
yeah.
show you my
Bring it.
gavel, actually, and hopefully we can get that in good light.
Nice.
And that was
Nice.
actually given to me
Yeah, there you
by
go.
brother Care Bear from the Rough Ashlar chapter in Maryland.
Nice,
He
nice.
made it for me. Yeah, yeah, 3D printed. I
Got a
can't
big
usually bang this thing and it blows up, because it's 3D printed, but it's pretty solid. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
you could probably smack somebody in the head with it, wake them up if needed be. Guy falling asleep in the back corner going,
Cool. Going
"Duh."
back to the cave trade, right? Um, Met some amazing brothers there. So New Jersey does this thing. New Jersey Widow Son, sorry, does this thing called the Walking Craftsman. And what we are is the walking craftsman for the Master Mason degree. If a lodge can't put it together, don't have the members, we provide them the walking craftsman because we provide 12 in New Jersey. We also do the seafaring man, um, speaking roles if you need it. So at that time, we were doing the degree down in Tennessee. It was our degree. And of course, it happens. Not everyone shows up. And I was short craftsman. We were
Mhm.
short. We were short craftsmen. And met some brothers at the lodge there. I think it was Union Lodge. It's called Union Lodge, right? Down there, I think.
And Tennessee? Yeah.
Tennessee, yeah, yeah. So I met some brothers just talking out there, and I was like, "Hey guys, you think you can help out?" Because they were wearing their widow son's vest, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll fill in." And they ended up being the Ashlars from Florida. Shout out to them, amazing brothers. Brothers like I felt like I've known them my entire life.
Yeah, 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 buddy. That's one thing I love about us widow sons. It doesn't matter where you go, what state you're from. If you're around a widow son and we know we're a widow son, the brotherhood and camaraderie or just the initial ice it's gone. It's not even there. It's like we're fellow men that met way back in the day. I guess we're all just those soldiers of the soldiers of God that set us here, and we're just finally starting to meet again. Because I guess He's calling us to be back together. I kind of look at it that way when I see all of us in our field or in our campers, and everybody's just intermingling, and it's just like, how do you get these group of people together and every single person has this instant chemistry. How do you do that? How does that happen?
It's
It's you
amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. And I'm part of other oh man, appendant bodies. There you go. That's the
okay,
word.
gotcha.
I'm
Are
part of other
you
appendant bodies.
Scottish Rite? Let's just say you Scottish Rite, or Knights Templar or any of that?
Well, I guess Shrine's not an independent body, but it's a acknowledged,
Shrine. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a Shriner. I'm a Shriner myself. I
cool.
didn't know if you were like a 32nd degree Master Mason or any of that.
No, no.
Didn't know if you followed any of that tree yet.
I am a York Rite Mason, but I did that many moons ago, when I first became a Mason, and
Mhm.
unfortunately, just life got busy. Um, I did
Understand?
Royal Arch. I did Royal Arch. I started Commandery, but ended up moving by then, because
Right.
of work and whatnot. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So
That's understandable. So
yeah,
you've been past master, or excuse me, your current sitting master of your lodges first go around?
first go around. Yep. Hopefully
First
last.
go around. All right. He said
Nice.
hopefully the last. How many members how many members in your lodge do you normally have sitting in lodge? Like if you opened up lodge, you have your how many officers do you have to open lodge in your state?
7 or more.
And when of seven of whom do oh sorry.
Well.
I would say here in little good old Kentucky, it only takes 3.
Yeah.
So That's why I like to ask. I was gonna say in Kentucky, we do have to. That's why asked you earlier if you have to learn long form. In Kentucky, we had to learn long form.
Mhm.
Skittles was branded and raised in Kentucky, and he had to learn long form. But it's funny that some people find Freemasonry by accident, um, and have no idea what it is and go into it, and then they they earn the fruit of their labor, or they earn the fruit of their thoughts of, okay, why does he have that? Or how does he get that? And I love hearing that in your story because you just met a random gentleman and that random gentleman turned you into where you currently are today as sitting master of your lodge. And I bet you're probably one of the younger gentlemen in your lodge because you said you were what, 42, 40?
40. Yeah. Yeah.
40. All right. All right. I'm 42. So we're in a dirty 40s. He's
We're
still
there.
young.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's 10 years younger than me. He's
Yep,
32.
I'm
There we go.
32.
Uh dirty 30s. So it's just
Well,
funny.
I wanted to ask, how many widow sons do you have in your lodge?
Yeah, there you go.
that's a great question. Think 3 or 4. Definitely
And
3.
are they officers in the lodge currently?
One is, and then one is like by default because you know you're gonna miss a chair, and he's like, "All right, I got it." You know, like,
Fair enough.
Love to see
Fair
that.
enough.
Good.
That's
Very
that
good.
brother you
Very
can
good.
call on.
yeah.
I do
Very good.
I do love to see that you're a part of the of like a traveling degree team is kind of what we call it here in Kentucky.
hmm
Mhm.
Um, different words for what you guys use it for. I do like seeing that. I do love hearing that because putting in the work is
Definitely
not
get taxed
just
for it too.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I would say
Good.
putting
Good
in
for
the
you.
work is definitely part of the labor. Part of the labor is putting in the work, and that gives you the fruit of it, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You get to see that every time you go to a lodge and get to step in and help with the lodge and help with that degree work. It's good to know that. It's good to have that information.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, cliche to say, but like you reap what you sow, right? You only get what you put
Right.
in and all that, and it's
Right.
100% true. You know, which segues into another piece of my conversation is, you know, there's a lot of people with ideas, tons of Masons with ideas, right? But I
Mhm.
would say 10% of us are executors, right? Not
Correct.
executors as far as like I'm going to murder you, but like executors as
Right.
far as like, get the job done,
Correct.
correct?
Like we're gonna put in the work and we're gonna see it through.
Exactly. Yeah, and
Mhm.
it's you know we need those people to execute because then the people that didn't want to initiate that will follow. And
Right.
it's hard to transition. So like we're a lodge of tradition, right? We're a fraternity of tradition, and you know coming in the same way and manner and all this and that. But here's
Correct.
the thing: the only thing inevitable is change. So you have to morph that tradition into change, and it's been such a such a challenging, exciting task to do that, right?
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
especially as sitting master. I mean, like no past master wants change, right? Like um
Right.
there's a guy right now on Facebook, Todd Wheatley or something like that, making all these hilarious memes. I don't know if you've seen them yet. Or, I mean, like little snippets or whatnot. And one of them was about past masters, like talking about change. Like, I don't want this. You know, this is not gonna happen. We
Right,
tried
right,
that. It
right.
doesn't work. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, so my gift to the craft would say is as a past master, I'm gonna kill that tradition of the naysayer.
Right.
Right, and I hope to carry that on, and I hope to spread that message as to change is inevitable. May not be the change that you see or accept right now, but you have to change in order to survive. You have to
Right.
evolve in order to survive.
Right. The human body's still changing today to
Right.
survive.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So
Mhm.
Cars change technology to survive to the technology today. So
right.
why would we stay back in the Stone Age and just continue to write all of our shit on a on a stone with a with a
Yeah.
hammer and a yeah, a
Yeah.
chisel, there you
Yeah.
go. I was sort of trying to say pen because I had a pen in my hand because my ADD was trying to take over on me, but yeah,
Yeah.
I get what you say. Some lodges do forget that. Uh, I was gonna ask, like, your average age in your lodge. Do you know what that is, kind of? I was gonna say you're
Oh,
probably yeah, I was gonna say the average age of my lodge is like 70, 80 years old, and I'm 40, and I've got to sit in front of those I got to sit in front of those guys, and they put me up there. They voted for me to be in that position, and that's humbling. And some forget that, and then when they get in the past master spot, it's like always like, "Oh, look, I'm a past master." No, past master doesn't mean that you're high and high and mighty. It means you should be humble and teach, and you should always be able to you've been in that chair, so you should talk to the master that's coming in or be able to help and support that master and give him support. You always have a little bit of devil's advocate sometimes to try to help open a mind, and kind of think about things. But it, just being a bump on a log and saying, "Nope, that's not how we do it." Well, hold on. We have policy excuse me, we have policies which are written in our bylaws, keeps us where we're supposed to be, and then we have some procedures that aren't written in those bylaws, but those are just how we mold ourselves together, and some people forget that.
yes.
They forget those procedures can change a little bit versus where we have our strict, "Hey, this is we're supposed to do this, this, and this," but there are a little bit of, "Okay, we can do this because things are starting to change nowadays."
And what I keep trying to tell them is, right, like, so like the bylaws, right? The bylaws, the guidelines, Grand Lodge bylaws on this and that, they were written for the good of the craft, obviously, right? But
Right.
they're also written to interpretation, right? So it depends how you interpret it, right? And you can interpret it any way you want. You can interpret it just word for word for word for word, or you can understand, just like our ritual, the actual meaning of what they were trying to accomplish when they wrote that bylaw,
Mhm.
right? So it may not apply, right? Or someone may find it to be against our bylaws, say we're trying to do something, but it's actually not. It's written for interpretation, right? It's kind of like our Constitution, where like you can interpret it so many different ways.
Correct. Depends on
And
how you read it or who reads it.
exactly. Right. Right. Yeah. Exactly. So I mean, again, it's open up to interpretation, which for me is a segue to change, right, or evolve it.
Right.
Um,
Mhm.
but in that sense, yeah, I am honored. I am privileged to be worshipful master in my holy lives right now. But man, I can't wait till the new master gets installed.
I was gonna say, is that coming up soon for you guys? Because like, in Kentucky right now, next weekend is our Grand Lodge. I know Illinois just had their Grand Lodge, which means officers are moving
Mhm.
over. I didn't know when that
Yep.
happens in your guys' state.
So so installation usually happens in like December. It's a wild month in December. Mahali is traditionally first. So like my installation was December 4th of last year. Um I think I'm not entirely sure. I think we're doing it on the 6th of this year. Our Grand Lodge communication is in November. It's the first week in November. Um so right now I'm at like an all out sprint. So prior to us meeting here, doing this recording, I was at a OV for a lodge in my district. All right, so I was in like a three-piece seat in the whole night, and I came home and I was like, "Rah!" and just threw my vest on and a black T-shirt. Like,
Like, all right, let me get in biker mode. Biker mode. Here we
yeah,
go. Here
yeah,
we go.
biker mode, yeah.
I was gonna say, I heard you earlier saying you've always owned a motorcycle, which were like sport bikes and stuff. Did you grow up on sport bikes as a kid, or do you like do any dirt bike riding? Like, and then what are you currently on?
Okay,
So
so
three questions in one.
good question. I hope I hit all three because I have ADD as well. Uh,
Same.
so I was born and raised in Jersey City. Jersey City is the city right next to New York City,
Yeah, oh
right?
yeah.
New York City, right? So dirt. What was that? You know what I mean? We have
I
asphalt
forget.
with like paved
Yeah,
sidewalks.
yeah, I forget about that. I'm a
Yeah.
southerner. I'm a southerner. We got plenty of dirt.
Yeah. So sport bikes, the first, and I was always a bigger guy, right? So like slimmed down recently. So my first bike was a Suzuki RF 900 double R.
Okay.
It was a big bike
Nice.
for a first bike.
Yeah.
And then from there I had a R1, right? I had a Busa. And then my boys are telling me, because it's the reason why I have the road name Mavrick, is because they call me reckless on a bike.
Mhm.
But I would say I'm like more of a fine-tuned machine than reckless. Like I take calculated risks when I'm going, and I know what I'm capable of. If that makes
Correct. No, I
um,
totally understand that.
right.
You were talking to
Yeah.
2 gentlemen that totally understand that statement.
Yeah. 100%.
100% we understand the assignment.
Mhm.
100% understand the assignment there.
Yeah. So my boys at the time, which weren't Masons or anything like that, they were actually a part of a club, and we won't say anything about that. They were like, "Bro, you need to come off that sport bike. You're an absolute menace." And I was like, "You're welcome," right?
Right, like, "No shit, thank you. We already knew that."
So I bought a Yamaha Roadstar 1600, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
You good bike, good one.
And within a month, I got
Roadstar.
T-boned
Yeah, that
bad.
is a good bike.
Yeah, I got T-boned within a month of owning it. I swear to this day, if I was on any one of my sport bikes, I would have dipped that car. But who knows? It's hindsight, right? Um,
Right.
I mean, bad. So my recollection of the accident itself is not what actually happened, which is nuts, which is crazy, right? So my boys are there. Of course, it was still back in the day, so somebody had a recording of it, but it wasn't that great. Still raining. It was back when you could do stuff and not be recorded. Um, I got T-boned by a Jeep Grand Cherokee. Uh,
Ooh, no forgiving bumper either. Jesus
yeah, just
Christ.
Yeah, that's
blew
not
me
a
up.
good one.
Totaled the bike, sent me flying like 50 feet. Um, and I actually have a prosthetic shoulder now. So like this arm right here is just for show. It's just like, it doesn't do much. Like
Mm.
our sign, I can't do our sign. Like,
Right,
yeah.
right. I'm with you.
Yeah. Which kind of sucks right now, because like I can't do everything I used to do because I don't have the throw. You know what I
Right.
mean? As far as the bars and
Understand.
whatnot, like low speed maneuvering for me, I have to practice at least I would say 3 times a month just to have that dexterity, because I'll lose it.
Understand. How long was that you were in the motorcycle accident?
16. So
16.
almost 9 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I wanted to get back on a bike as soon as possible, and my family was like
A little
adamant. "You're
hesitant.
not getting back on a bike. You were dead. You died." I was so my heart stopped beating for a minute and 13 seconds.
Right.
That's
Okay,
how,
cool.
that's how hard it blew me up.
So you
But
got to see Jesus.
yeah, I
Jesus.
hope it was Jesus. I hope it was.
You got to right. I didn't know he was a widow son too. Shit.
It was a long recovery. So when I woke up in the hospital, I couldn't feel my legs, move my legs. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. It was a rough recovery. But literally, the minute I could walk, and then my arm got out of like the sling and all that, bro, I jumped on my cousin's 400 and was like, I'm gonna move this bike. It's gonna happen. Um, and it was like nerve wracking, right? Like, yeah, I felt like I knew what I was doing, but I didn't have the confidence. It was
Right.
Mhm.
so slowly I got into it, got back into it. Then I took a break for a year or two, and then I was like, you know what? I need a bike. Went shopping for a bike, couldn't find a bike I wanted. Met my wife, and then on Father's Day, because we were gonna have my first son. She On Father's Day, she comes home with a bike. She goes, "This is your Father's Day's gift." So I was like,
Nice. Just bought you one.
yeah, I was like,
Hell yeah.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, I was like, yeah. And then like, so by then I was like, I can't ride a sport bike anymore because it's leaned over, right? And the shoulder
Right.
doesn't support it or whatever. She buys me a Gixxer, man. And I can't ride this. I want to, but I can't ride this.
Right. Like I love to. I'd really thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So that stayed around for about 2 or 3 months, and then my BMW came home. I've been a BMW guy for for a while too. You know, on top of the boosters and all this and that. I always loved BMWs. And my first real bike back into it was a K1600 GT. Big sport tour.
Sport tour, yeah.
Yeah, love the thing, but I didn't have the arm strength yet to control it. It's totally bad mistake, but love that bike. I miss that bike. Probably gonna buy another one.
Just don't tell the old lady. Don't let her watch the podcast. Just kidding.
Yeah. So we're moving on to current times now, right?
Yeah.
Right now in the stable, I have a 23 Pan America, all kitted out.
Nice.
Yeah, and then the grand bike, the prize is a 24 Road Glide Turbo
Rogue.
big bore. Yeah, she's bad.
Did you just well hold on, wait. Hold on, Skittles. Did he just say what I thought he just said? Did he say big bore turbo?
Is that a
Yeah, wait. Hold on. You're talking to two big bore guys here. So we're like, hey, speak some language to us.
Okay, so you guys ever hear of and this is actually the first time I'm talking about it. You guys ever hear of All American Cycle down in Miramar, Florida? No. Okay, so he's pretty famous on the YouTube, right?
Okay.
And all this and that, and he's really big into street racing, right? In Mexico, street racing.
I
in Mexico.
understand.
Of course.
Right.
I understand.
And because of my background and you know what I used to like to ride, I started following him. I you know researched him and all this and that, and then I met a couple of my boys that were you know part of my crew back in the day, and they were like, "Yo, we just got our bikes built," because they're all my age now, and you know they went to Harleys, and they're like, "We just got our bikes built, All American Cycle." So my first boy came back up with a 143. Nasty bike, had a crazy chop, and I'm asking him like, "Yo, what kind of cam do you?" It was a Gen 1 MA. What cam is in there? He goes, "Yo, George doesn't tell us what cam went in it. Shows us the dyno sheet, and this is what we're at." So he was pushing somewhere around 170 squared, right? So 170 horsepower,
170 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah. Yeah, and he let me ride it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's cute, that's nice," you know.
Right.
So then, in comes the Florida Widow Sons guys, the Ashlars, right? I swear to God, they're family. I'll kill for them, right? I go to visit them, and they're like, "Oh, our bikes are tuned by George from All American Cycle," and I was like, "What? You know him? Like, I only seen him on Facebook." They were like, "Yeah, come on, we'll come introduce you." So they bring me over to his shop. Man, the toys in his shop, right? I was just drooling at this point.
Right. You had shit just rolling right out your mouth, right?
Yeah. And I was like, listen, I just so I went out and got a silver turbo kit, just to answer, right?
Silver.
Okay.
Yeah. And I put that on the bike myself. Right. So I have a lift in my house and the whole nine. I'm pretty well. So if anyone on the podcast is in New Jersey, needs help, find me. So I put the turbo kit in myself, right? And it was fun. It was great. The wine was great, this and that. The torque was great. I just had a can tune from Silver. And I was like, I want more. So then I was like, all right, gotta go look for a cam. Now here's the thing. On turbo bikes, you don't have lope, right? Because the overlap is what creates the lope, right? And you need
Correct.
right.
You don't want the overlap there.
Right. Well, I'm an asshole, and I was like, I want overlap and turbo and power and the whole nine, the whole package.
You want fast, good, and cheap, all in the same sentence.
Yep, and sexy.
And make it
sexy,
reliable
There you
while
go,
we're
there
at
you
it.
go.
When I'm seeing that idle, I'll be like, yo, that's a bad
Make it
bitch.
reliable. I want to drive it 7,000 miles a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, off the turbo kit comes, and I put a Redshift 532 cam in it. Right.
Okay. So you went big.
Yeah, I get the chop I want. It has a nice rowdy little, idle to it. I had to put a Thundermax ECU in it, because of course, you can't on that stock ECU, you
For
can't do,
tuning.
2.5 lap sensors, and you need the wide bands and the whole nine. And I had to self-tune it myself because there was no tune for a turbo and a 532 can, right?
No.
So I did it old school, bro. I data logged. There's
Yep.
this fancy little highway by my house in Mexico, and I was ripping it, bro, like all the way up to like 6,700 RPM. Just data logging, right? Just doing rips. And finally got it running okay, and it was a 117 with the 532 and a turbo kit, and I was like, that's fun. It's okay, and I'm already whooping everything around me, right? Like it's not there's nothing around me really touching this thing at this moment. And then I was like, I want more.
Right.
I want more. And then the brothers over in Florida was like, hey, come on down, we're having a rally. And I said, cool. So I came down there, I rode down there, went to their event, and they introduced me to George, and George says, you know what I want to do? He goes, I want to put a 128 in there. And I was like, 128.
Mhm.
But I just saw you put a 143 in something. I was like, why can't we go 143 in turbo? And he looks at me, he goes, you're crazy, right? And I was like, yeah. He goes, you don't have enough cylinder wall to support the compression for the turbo. You can't go 140.
Correct. Yeah, you gotta have cylinder wall thickness, or you're gonna explode it instantly.
Right.
Yep.
And then now, I'm the type of person, when you tell me I can't do something,
You're going to.
I'm going to, yeah. So I took our brothers from Florida's opinion. Was like, you got to trust George. He knows what he's talking about. This and that, blah blah. I let him put the 128 in. Drive the 120. It took forever for the 128 to get put in. Drive the 128, and believe it or not, I love the 117's power curve and torque curves more than the 128. For some reason, it didn't vibe with me, right? So then the brothers from Florida actually rode back up with me, because we do this annual trip in Maggie Valley, North Carolina, and do the Smoky Mountains. So, we get up there, we're in like Asheville, North Carolina, we're shooting around the mountains, and this thing is just falling on its face, right? It's either off or on, and the 128's really giving me problems around the hairpin turns and the whole nine. And we actually have I think he's a widow's son, I'm not sure, but they know him down in Florida anyway. He works at Asheville Harley. He looked it over. He goes, "No, you're good, bro. It's got to be something in the ECU." But I didn't bring my laptop with me, so I get it home. I call George. George, this is what it's doing. This and that. Blah blah blah. He goes, "All right, try this, and try this on the ECU." Right. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but it had to do with timing and fuel. Adding fuel, pulling fuel on certain RPMs and whatnot. Well, I thought I finally had it tuned in right when I took it to that highway over at Mexico, right? And a McLaren pulls up next to me, right? And he's just bouncing off the rev limiter because he hears my turbo. Yeah. So he wants to pull, and I'm like, bro, like I just got this thing almost okay. Well, the devil right here got to me.
Yeah.
Right. I get to about sixth gear. The speedo on the new 24 Road Glides, they only go to about 120 because it's digital. And then you're just watching RPMs at that point, right? Sixth gear, about 6,400 RPM. I inch past the McLaren. Don't know how fast we were going or whatever, because it just didn't clock. And then I see the McLaren just kind of like just back off, right? And I take past it. And I'm like, all right, I won. Cool, right? This guy was messing with me and this and that, blah blah blah. I go to hit the clover leaf to get back to come towards my house. Banging gears, right? Because you're getting on the on ramp, and boom, the thing just blew up.
Oh shoot!
The rear cylinder head blew off. Just blew off. Like I had like that much between the rear cylinder and the head, right?
Dang.
So I'm forcing this thing to get home. I'm like chugging it, right? Just trying to keep it alive, right? Blowing out white smoke, the whole nine, trying to get home. finally made it to my driveway. Now my driveway is inclined, right? And I'm like, please, like, let me just get it up the driveway so I don't have to push this heavy bitch. And no, it didn't make it. So I get it back to the driveway. George from All American Cycle, within 2 weeks, sent it transported to my house, picked up the bike, brought it back, and we made the motor even bigger because, you know, he didn't listen to me.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, it's running like a beast now. I had him put a full length exhaust on it, which quieted it way down. Now I think I might have put like 16,000 miles on it this year. And the first 12 gave me like tinnitus. My ears are still ringing, right? Because of how long. Yeah. The full length exhaust was great, but quieted the bike too much down. So I just had a downpipe made for me. So it's I believe it's a 3-inch outlet from the turbo, and it mounts out to about 4 inches in the back. So I'm back to being loud, and it's a shorty. It's a mid pipe. Yeah. So
Nice.
that's
Fuck
that's
hearing.
the
We don't need that.
Hmm?
I said fuck hearing. We don't need that.
Yeah, exactly.
Loud pipes save lives, bud. Loud pipes save lives. And you can hear that turbo. You can hear that turbo about the back end.
Man,
But you
but
got
I
that
tell
little
you,
whistle.
my bike. So its name is Boosty.
Boosty? Yeah.
Boosty's a spicy bitch, bro. It's like
Boosty.
you know, sometimes she will work for you. She's moody.
Boosty.
Yeah. She's moody. Yeah.
I'm gonna need you to send me that link for that turbo kit, so that way I can get me one of them things.
All right. Here's
Oh,
another
yeah,
shameless
so
plug. It's for
just so-
sale. My turbo.
Did you say it's for
Oh.
sale?
Yes. Yep.
Wait. Back off, Skittles. Nope.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and just so everybody
Yeah, just
listening,
ain't
I thought
that
you were
section
saying
of it.
silver, but it's silver.
ILBER.
SILBER.
Silver.
Looking up as you're talking.
Nice.
Oh wait, no is
Mm-hmm.
like, is there any
So great question, right? And it's not a one size fit all. It all depends on you, right? Are you rowdy?
Right.
Do you do whole digs, right? Are you a red light warrior, or you know, do you want to get at it on a roll? So
you want to be the interstate hero.
Right,
there you go.
Yeah. It all depends, right? So if you're you know, one of those red light warriors where you know you're going balls to the wall, first, second, third, fourth gear, and you're just banking gears.
You're drag racing, buddy. You're drag racing.
Yeah, you're drag racing. Yeah. I would say anything north. Well, there's a huge difference. I don't know if you guys know from the Gen 1 M8s and the Gen 2 M8s. Giant, like leaps and bounds.
Which one's the Gen 2, Gen 8? Inform me there.
So for the CVOs, it's 23.5 up, and then for the, I guess, regular road glides and street glides, it would be 24 and up.
Didn't know there was a difference there, but
And the way you can tell the difference, I wish I had it. Is the cam cover, right? So your cam cover on your Gen 1 is the circle, and then the Gen 2s, you'll see it. It'll look like it has VVT, right? Because there's a sensor there. Anything but the CVO, and just CVO. The STs don't have VVT. Only the CVOs have VVT, and that's a whole nother world to talk about. I kind of believe
that's why it's Gen 2s, because they have the VVT in it.
Mm-hmm. But not all. Not all.
Right.
And leaps and bounds. So I've had them both, right? Actually, when we met over at the gathering in Illinois, my bike was down in Florida. It was doing its rounds, right? I went out and bought a 21 Road Glide just to ride to Illinois. I mean, Road King. So I bought it a week before, and that's gonna segue into my next story. I bought it a week before the gathering up there, Grand Gathering. Sorry, I bought it a week before, and I get it home. It goes on my lift. My wife comes home from work and was like, "What the hell are you doing?" why is this bike apart? You literally just bought it 6 hours ago. And I tore the bike down. I threw a cam in it. I put a SNS 475 cam in it. Lifters, adjustable push rods.
Yep.
Because it's simple to do. It's easy, right? It was a 21, so it had the upgraded oil pump. Didn't have to change that. And I put a Kerper exhaust in it, a head pipe in it, right? And I made it my own, kind of deal. And then I took that and I rode it all the way up to Illinois. While I was up there, I forget the name of the Harley dealership up there. Dealership name up there. Do you remember?
Oh,
No.
like the one right
Where were
by
we
us,
at?
Yeah, right by the fairground.
Rockford, Illinois.
No,
No.
Rockford,
Woodstock.
W, didn't it?
Woodstock. There you go. Sorry, I'm bad with locations.
Yeah, that's what we
But
got.
you said your turbo, you're 2-in-1, or excuse me, not two. Yeah, you're 2-in-1, especially with turbo. I don't know why I asked that question. Duh.
Yeah.
I was thinking about your 21 Street Glide because you said you put in an SNS 475 cam. That's what I got in mine.
That's a real king, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I put in my my Street Glide. I got a 124 kit with an SNS cam in it, the 475, and that's my like daily. I love that fucking cam. It's a good just broody cam. It's not big cam, but it carries a lot of horsepower in the very beginning, and it kind of falls off when you get into 5,000, 6,000 RPM. But I'm not looking for that tail end peak. I'm looking for my start curve first versus my other ones.
It's a great cam. Great
Yeah.
all around cam. Had I not gone with the heads that I did for the Gen 2, it was a strong competitor cam in consideration. If that makes sense.
Gotcha. What heads did you use? Because I have the extreme ported CNC heads, Screaming Eagle heads.
So for the most recent build, for the 128, that's what I went with. The Screaming Eagle heads.
Screaming Eagle heads.
From Harley, the stream ported heads.
Yep.
And then when I blew the 128 up, we took those heads and sent them to Ward. And Ward did his magic. Yeah.
Okay. Bet.
Yeah.
Hey.
So anyway,
wait.
Going.
No.
I'm answering right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
I'm sorry. I'm going back to that.
He's pulling back in. He's pulling us back in. We got off sidetracked.
Yeah.
Cammed. We got cammed, sir. We got cammed.
Yeah. So things to consider, right? You got to consider your riding style, what you primarily want out of the bike, right? And then you have all these like internet keyboard warriors, like show me the dyno sheet, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Your dyno sheet doesn't mean shit if you don't know how to ride.
Facts.
Yeah.
Fucking facts.
Yeah. So first. So I guess in the lineage here, I want you to consider your riding style, right? If you're a red light warrior, I'll tell you to go this way as far as like once you hit, I would say a safe number of like, let's say you're building up to 120 horsepower. Anything over than that in a Gen 1 M8, and you're a red light warrior, that's when you have to like run a chain, right? When you I recommend a compensator for any build, regardless, right?
A new compensator.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you run one?
Oh shit!
Fuck no. I think that's I was gonna say
no.
I did everything other than the compensator, and I cheaped out on the intake. Like legitimately, I cheaped out on the intake. I just being a dad, 3 kids, and I have to choose. I put a bigger ass injectors in it. I put the big bore kit and oiling system, heads, literally clutch, but I didn't do a compensator.
Compensator, man, it's a wear and tear item, right? It'll save everything in your primary when shit goes south.
I was gonna say I've seen some horror stories where those motherfuckers just crack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially with big
No.
power, just fucking
Glitter.
snap.
Yep.
Literally just fucking.
Yep. Yeah, and then depending on the damage that happens in the primary, then you're messing with your crank there. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So, all right. So let's go back to
My
it.
bad.
So depending on your ride style, right, is the way you want to build. Um, uh, must-haves for me, right? When I'm doing a build or recommending a build for somebody is, of course, what are you looking to get, right? So if you're looking for just noise, right, just noise, and you ride 1,000, 2,000, or you just ride the Wawa and back or Dunkin' Donuts and back or whatever, you just want the noise. Slip on stage one, right? I hate stages,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
everyone knows what we're talking about when we say stages. So slip
Yeah. Yeah.
on,
Oh yeah.
right, air cleaner, right? Then if you
I
want a
hate
little more,
stages.
right, that's when we're gonna move into the yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Like the ones you stand on?
My last relationship, just anyway.
Did you come from stage? Did she come from a stage? Now introducing Christy. Oh, Candy. I'm sorry, Christy. Candy. I'm just kidding.
I do give to charity, I swear.
Right. I do give to charity. She's great.
Yeah.
Fun
So
times.
for the cam, right? So of course, lifters, right? Push rods, right? If you can, at that point, if you have the money to spare, right? That's when you want to get into valve springs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It'll only
Mm-hmm.
save you in the
Okay.
future, right?
Yep.
Stock valve springs on there. I mean, it's rough. So on the M8 Gen 2s, you can go up to a 550 stock
Right.
spring, right? And
Damn.
I believe the Gen 1s are a lot less. I forget the exact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Way
forget the.
less.
Yeah.
I would
But if
say
you're there,
over the 475 they start recommending springs on after the 475 cam.
mhm.
Yeah.
And if you're there, I mean, if you're not doing it the lazy way, and what I mean by the lazy way is you're using adjustable push rods, right? The good
Yeah.
way to do it is not to use adjustable push rods and actually take your valve covers off and, come in that way, right? And you're already there, right? With your rockers and your springs and the whole nine. So depending on the budget build you're trying to do,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if you're just doing cam, right? If you're just looking for that chop and a little more power or a little more torque, you could use the adjustable push rods. That's fine with that. So that would be your stage 2, right? I think
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like right. That would be your stage 2, and then your stage 3 is like your medium big bore, medium
Mm-hmm.
bore, something like that, right? And then you have your stage 4, which is like your heads and the whole nine.
Right.
Um,
Right. You did just a jugs and a cam, push
right.
rods,
Mm.
no injectors. Just the basics.
Well,
Just
yeah,
get
yeah,
it up and running.
injectors, throttle body, the whole nine.
Yeah.
Not every. I promise to everyone that's listening right now, not everybody needs a big bore, right? You'll be
No.
totally happy with a 114, a cammed 114, a cammed 117, even a cammed 107. There are some nasty 107 cams right now that'll be
Yeah.
more than enough, more than
Hell,
what
buddy.
we use.
w-
Yeah.
We were on a ride and it was in Kentucky and we were supporting a ride. And I was riding against a 121 with a cam and it was giving me a run for my fucking money. And I was like, I asked him, I said, what, bud, what do you got in that? He goes, it's factory. I said, that ain't shitting factory. What do you mean it's factory? He goes, I just got a cam in it. I was like, what is it? He goes, it's a 121 with a cam. I was like, oh, you bitch. I was like,
Newer one.
yeah, that thing was quick. I was like, you bitch. And I spent like $5,000. You and I still could spend some more money on that. Like, you mother, I should.
Yeah, but
So
you don't want to know
a
how much he
cam
spent
goes a
on that.
long way. Yeah. I would say a cam goes a long way. So it
Yeah.
definitely makes a difference.
It does, and different type of cams,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wants chop. Everyone's like, yo, I want that crazy lope, right? That drum line, that do that. No. No, it depends on how
That's
you ride.
not performance.
Right, exactly. That's you sitting in the parking lot trying to show off, right? Like,
Correct. You want some overlap. Don't get me wrong. You want some overlap, but you want that overlap to be super fast, like
hmm
super fast, and you want that thing being real choppy, like. Just kidding.
yeah. So like again, going back to your thing. So like, when do you do bottom end? Right? Great question. All depends how you ride, right? So if you're gonna beat the living shit out of it, do your bottom end, right? If you're building something like that's gonna be a garage princess, do you have to touch the bottom end if it's a budget build? No, no. I have this saying, right? It's like you know what? I'm not going to dog out my girlfriend because I'm saving it for the next guy. No, like everything I own, I'm gonna fucking pound on. You know what I mean? Like it's mine.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like,
Hell yeah. I love that analogy, buddy. I fucking
Yeah.
love that. I'm going to use that.
Just kind of like used cars, right? Like oh no, I'm not putting miles on it because I want to save the value. So
Fuck
I mean,
that.
I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
I'll dump everything into the fucking ground because I'm just crazy like that. Yeah, if you're not, if you're like a hardcore racer, if you're doing the quarter mile, you're doing the half a mile, right? You're beating on it. Yeah, so that's when you want to do your bottom end. Chain wise, I'd say once you get over 120 torque, do the chain. Going back to me, bro. All right, so I'll just put it out there, dude. I'm over
Damn,
200
that
torque and I'm
sucks.
still on a belt.
Yeah.
Belt. Yeah, only
Okay. I was
because
going to say.
Okay,
I'm gonna give you
good
the
to hear.
dig. Yeah, I'll give you the
Yeah,
light.
we're still on
I'll give you the
belts.
light. You go. Yeah, yeah. I'll give you the light. You can go. You could jump me on the light. I'll give it to you. I'll give you a bike's length. But guess what? Right?
Catching you.
Third gear, I'm gone. Yeah, I'm catching you. I'm making you stand still
Yeah.
by third gear. Maybe
Yeah.
even by second. Who knows? But I don't like to brag. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Depends on what he gets. Hey, buddy, you're talking to two guys right here that love to ride. And me and him,
Yeah.
we don't like to give up.
Yeah.
we don't give up.
Bro, I
That's
can't
why
wait till we get
All right,
together again,
so-
man. Illinois is fun. I don't know if you remember when you came by our site with the golf cart. Were you on the golf cart?
yeah.
Yeah.
You can get some libations there.
That was a
Yeah.
good time.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, bro. Hey, one thing you didn't touch on there
you.
is clutch.
Clutch setup. Great question. 99% of your builds will be just fine with the clutch. Screaming Eagle, right? You can use the Screaming Eagle clutch plates and all this and that, right? But 99% of your builds, the 1275 springs from Screaming Eagle, right, and a couple of shims, I guarantee you will satisfy anything under 140. No
Alright,
slippage,
cool.
no nothing.
That's what
You're
I'm
gonna wear
running.
it through it faster. Yeah. Them 1275 things are great. I ended up having to do Ames clutch with a lockout. Only because of of how hard I started slipping in like 5th and 6th, right? Even with a brand new clutch. And then I said, you know what, let's just go Ames. And there's so many out there, right? There you got Barrett, you have Recluse.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Recluse, you know what? I'm not gonna talk shit about any brand or this and that, but I didn't have any luck with it. Right? I Recluse. Ames has been holding for the past 1,800 miles. And again, I'm not easy on my bike.
Yeah. No, I'm not either. I got my full build. I and then I took it to Harley. We had a little bit of tuning on it at Harley, and I went to Harley to get my fork seals. Like 3 or 4 weeks later, I went to get my fork seals. Coming to get on the interstate, I fucking hit third. I heard a I was like, what the fuck? But so I clicked fourth, fifth. I still hear a little cradle, but it drove. I was like, all right, so I'm good. did about 55, got to the shop because I work on cars for a living or big trucks.
Mhm.
And I got to the shop and I'm like, all right, I started fucking instant diagnosis, but I'm like, oh fuck, what happened? And I'm listening. I think it's over on my primary side. So I let it cool down. I pull my primary cover off and everything's fine. I'm like, okay, because I think what you're talking about, I want to say the exciter, but the fucking
Compensator.
there you go, compensator. Thank you for the words. I thought my compensator snapped, and I was like, oh fuck. But
Mhm.
nope, wasn't the case. I shredded third. I shredded third right off the shaft, like literally shredded it. I opened
Yeah.
I opened that case, and at that point, that was probably my moment. I probably should have did the chain conversion because you have to pull your transmission out to pull that fucking gear shaft off
Mhm.
your case. But at that moment, you might as well, if you're going into a build at that point and you are going to the chain and you are doing that, that's the moment you do you do your gears. You want to build those things up. You
He won
definitely want
cycles,
to.
man, and
Yeah,
portables.
$1,400, like
Yeah.
$1,400 for a whole cartridge. You literally throw the whole cartridge in.
Yeah. And then he has other things, right? He has other things that I think in third and fourth, your dogs aren't like fully engaged. There's like a little gap, and he
Yep.
brings them in even closer.
Yes. Yeah.
I may
He
or
gives
may not.
it he does a back cut on it. He does a back cut on it. Yep.
Yeah, and he puts spacers in. Yep. Yep. World of difference. World.
I'm gonna say I'm the 140 torque on mine. And I
Mhm.
like I said, I didn't do any larger throttle body. I did larger injectors. And I got a headers. I got a good exhaust, so I got flow. I think there's definitely more to it, but I'm afraid to bang in it because I'm afraid I'm gonna shear off another fucking gear out of first, second, third. Because I'm like you, bud. My uncle always called. I went by Max as a kid.
Okay.
I didn't accept the name Casey as a man until I was a little bit of an older gentleman. I was like, that's a girl's name. I can't. No. So I went by Max. So my uncle always said, "Look, is that thing fucking Max proof? Like, are you gonna fucking destroy that one too?" I'm like, "Yeah, buddy." When I sheared that transmission off, that was the first thing he said. He was like, "You done built it too big. It done shredded it off." Now I'm over here like, man, I should probably get turbo on it. And then once I put turbo on it, I need to do a chain. I need to get compensated. God damn it! I need like another
Wheelie it all?
I need like 7,000 more.
Do you wheelie it all? Do you do the whole digs? You don't need to.
I do whole digs, but it comes off the ground. But I raced motocross, man. Like until I was
Okay.
25, I shattered my shin. I like doing my dumb shit in the dirt. I've had too many. I've had a lot of wrecks in the dirt. I've had some wrecks in the asphalt, and I think the asphalt hurt worse. So I'm like, no, I'll just do it in the dirt instead.
I'm dying to get into some dirt, bro. Especially with the Pan Am.
Yeah. Oh, I bet that's a fun ass bike to ride
Cool.
too.
It is if you're below 120 miles an hour. Yeah. So
Yes. Hey, does cruise control only set 90 on both of those as well?
no. So the Road Glide only does 90. The Road King only does 90. The Pan America goes higher. I just not exactly sure how high. Because what happens is,
Yep.
Fuckers.
Harley David. Yeah,
Yeah.
Harley.
You
Yeah.
suck.
yes,
Fix it.
that.
Fix it now.
If your bike can go faster, make the cruise control faster. That's retarded.
I was getting
Agreed.
ready to say you got an
Yeah.
aftermarket, so you have an aftermarket ECM in your turbo, and that's thing still only sets a 90.
Yes, because the cruise control is on the BCM side, not the ECM side.
Fuckers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
They were
Harley Davidson, you
smart.
suck.
Yeah.
That's
I see that
twice.
beat the Facebook short. all of us said, yeah, you suck. Yeah.
You suck at that. You let an Indian beat you at something? Like, Indian finally fucking beat Harley Davidson at one thing, allowing us to set cruise control over fucking 90.
You're
What the
admitting way
hell?
too much, bro, because I got Indians in my group and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm at cruise control. Yeah, I'm doing 110 on cruise control. No, it's all fucking hands.
And I think it just got an Indian's
your
going to be
player
Indian.
is
Yeah, can we
nice.
talk about that a little bit, actually?
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
Yeah, if you
so
got something to say.
yeah, so Carol LP is the equity firm who bought the majority stake of Indian. Now, I'm a gearhead. I'm everything about that. I don't have like, well, not now I do. I have brand loyalty to Harley, but I've always considered Indian as a choice. There's two ways this can go. Okay, so what do we know about equity? You guys know about equity firms?
Yeah.
Right? They penny pinch, they fucking
100%.
squeeze the juice out of a company, every single cent, and then they sell it for pennies to the dollar because they already made their money. Or the other 10% of equity firms actually make it better. Um, I did research on Carol LP, and they're mostly into real estate, hospitality, restaurants, the whole nine. They did hire the new CEO for Indian, and here's the good part of it: the new CEO they hired for Indian, um, was from Harley, right? So they have that. And then from Harley, he left Harley to go to Vance and Hines,
Okay.
right?
Okay. I like Vance and Hines.
Yes. But the problem is, if you know about Vance and Hines, they actually got sold off to another conglomerate. So it's weird there. But the new CEO of Indian has the entire playbook of Harley now. So it'd be interesting to see what happens to Indian at this point.
Right. Right.
And that new the Power Stroke, I'm sorry, at 112, power something, power stop, power I forget the terminology at this point, but that new engine is a force to be reckoned with, bro. It's a badass motor.
I
And
would
I'm
say that Indian are putting out some big numbers with smaller CC motors or smaller
Yeah.
displaced
Yeah.
motors.
100%.
Problem is there's no aftermarket for them, you
Correct.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Correct.
like, you have I mean, there's some aftermarket. So, before I bought the Road Glide, I actually went in to go buy an Indian Challenger, right? And I walked into the Indian dealership and I was talking to the sales guy, and he asked me, he goes, "What's your credit like?" And I go, I'm not gonna finance this. I'm buying it cash." And he goes, "You can't afford this bike." And I literally walked out of it
You can't tell me what I can afford, what I can't afford, bud.
Right, right. I walked out of the end of the dealership and I bought the Road Glide. I was like, you know what? This is what pushed me to Harley. But to be honest, before I took the Road Glide, which was my first Harley, I was anti Harley.
But
Yeah,
same, buddy.
yeah.
I fucking when I met Skittles, I was on a fucking Honda VTX 1300, and
Okay.
I'm like, dude, I bagged that bitch out. I had a front fairing,
Great bike.
speakers, bag in the back, saddlebags. I bought that thing with 4,000 miles on it and put 38,000 miles on that bitch, and then traded it into Harley. I was like, my wife told me, she's like, look, if you quit smoking cigarettes, you can take that money and go buy your brand new fucking Harley. I said, okay, sure. I love the way they looked. I loved the way they looked. But now, if you wanted me to buy a Street Glide versus a Road Glide, I'd buy a Road Glide over a Street Glide because I hate the fucking fairing of a Street Glide right
Batwing,
now.
yeah, with the fucking
Dude,
lights.
it's
Yeah.
fucking ugly. You turn it over, you turn it around, and look, you got like this big ass fucking screen staring at you, and then a little block that pops out from underneath of it. I could put a Glock in the block.
Right.
That's cool. I could probably put a mirror in
Let me
there.
put
And
my
just
purse
fucking,
on this shelf. Yeah.
yeah. They were like, Jesus Christ. One way to make me go from a Street Glide to a Road Glide, that was it. Like, legitimately, aesthetically, the Road Glide of 2024, 2025 is money. Like, even the cockpit is money. And that was one thing I didn't like about the cockpit of the Road Glides, was just, it just kind of looked like to me, it looked like a Goldwing at some point. Like, back in the day,
Yeah.
it was more of a Goldwing style. Now it doesn't look like that. It's slim, nice, perfect. And I know performance wise and riding wise, Road Glide's fucking got it. Street Glide's hand down. But
Do you know why?
the
Do you know
the
why?
the w-
Yeah,
the
tell
weight
me.
of the weight of the amount of weight that is sitting on that fairing versus the non weight on the front wheels.
No, so let me drop this bomb on you. The 24 M8 Gen 2 Street Glides are Widowmakers. And the reason why is because they made the Batwing too light. And the Batwing's aerodynamics actually lifts the front end of the bike at high speeds, and you get that death wobble you can't recover from.
Oh.
So what they did is they put a
Oh.
15-pound block on the neck bearing to weigh it back down, and then reduce
Shit.
the top speed of the new Street Glides. They reduced the top speed, so the Road Glides stock form are faster than the Street Glides because of that Batwing issue.
No shit. That dude,
Harley
I
Davidson,
told you it
you
was ugly.
suck.
You suck. Yeah.
You suck.
You suck, Harley Davidson. Dude, I'm telling you, I honestly, I'm considering an Indian. I'm watching, is what I'm saying.
Because if you do it, I'll do it. How about that?
Right. You buy an Indian,
Well,
he'll
so
buy an
here's the
Indian.
thing.
No,
So you're talking about you got to make a lot.
off the rip. Yeah, they make a lot of power
Yeah.
right off the rip. So do you necessarily need that? That's why I was stunned with the 121 with a cam in it. That's quite a bit of power. Like I put some money into mine to get mine where
I
I'm at.
gotta Google this spec real quick because I've actually seen this, and I don't want to get it wrong for the podcast. But give me 1 second. I gotta look up the new motor,
And-
the right
well, with-
terminology of it. Power Plus.
While we're talking,
VVT.
screw you,
Yeah.
Harley.
Yes. Give us the larger bore right out of the factory without the VVT because we're gonna lock it out anyways when we put a fucking cam in it.
Yes.
Well, they're
Just
VVT.
saying.
Yeah, but you
What'd you
still
say?
can't get the low. You still
What'd you
can't
say
get
there, Maverick?
this separation you want out of a VVT.
Oh,
There are VVT cams coming out now.
Yeah.
Would I ever run one? No,
No.
but they're out.
exactly.
They're out.
Yeah. No.
And then the
I'm locking it out.
yeah, the delete kit is $28 to delete VVT.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You're putting a little rubber blocker in.
Right. So it is the 112 Power Plus. And I'm
112
telling
Power
you
Plus.
right now, I've seen it. The 112 Power Plus in the let me make sure that's the Roadmaster. Well, anyway, the Power Plus power plant stock CVO 121 versus that 112. That 112 is gonna fucking eat it all day.
Nice.
It's hard to admit because like I so heavily invested into the Harley brand and all this and that, but like
Yeah.
hey man, you gotta give
Yeah.
credit where credit's due, bro. Like it's just
They
yeah.
do. Damn Indians.
damn Indians. Yeah.
Damn
Damn,
Indians.
dude, this sucks, man. This is a tough
Can't
time
trust
to
'em.
be a.
With all three of us
By the
sitting
way,
in
which ride did y'all go
motorcycles.
on at the Grand Gathering?
We didn't go on any of them.
Ah, gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
so
We were so busy doing podcasts and meet and greets with everybody. We didn't have times to get on the motorcycle, to be honest with you.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So I went on the Harley Museum ride,
Mm-hmm.
and on the way to the ride, did you hear what happened?
Mm-mm.
There was a
No.
car chase. It was like 12 police cars, and they were pit maneuvering this car on the other side of the highway while all like hundreds of widow sons are on the other side of the highway going down.
Nice. I bet you
Yeah.
that was fun. I bet you that was fun to see.
Yeah, and then we get to Milwaukee, right? And I'm talking about like 2-bedroom, 3-bath potholes, like an apartment size potholes in Milwaukee, and we were like, like I was just trying to avoid everything.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, you speaking of potholes and driving, I went on an adventure. Me and my wife left Louisville, Kentucky, went to Florida, spent 3 days in Florida, caught the A1A coast all the way up to New York, and we went through New Jersey, I think through Maine on a ferry. We came across the little the ocean
Mayfair.
across. Yeah. So we came through, and as soon as we got to New Jersey, there was a dude on like a Pan. It was like I want to say a Pan America, but it wasn't a Pan America. That style motorcycle,
Adventure bike, yeah.
adventure bike. And we get over, and he was like, "Good luck," and I was like, "What do you mean by good luck?" And I'm on my BTX 1300, right? I'm like, all right. I look at the speed limit. It says 65. I started doing 65, 70, but I was getting to get ran the fuck over. Like,
Yeah, bro.
legitimately. I had this old man, 90 years old, pass by me doing 90. It was like, oh, I was like, the fuck am I literally just had to I had to run 90 miles an hour coming through New Jersey. And if not, I was getting ran over. And I was like, fuck, the cops are even doing like, holy shit. So kudos, buddy. Kudos for riding up there up north, because those guys are fucking crazy.
Oh yeah. But so here's the thing. There's a Mason-Dixon line, believe it or not, in New Jersey. It's called
Fill me in.
Yeah, it's called 195. So south of 195, you have Philadelphia drivers, right?
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I've been to Philly. I've been to Philly. Brotherly love. City of brotherly love.
Yeah. Do you feel any love there? Because I don't. Absolutely not.
I have given brotherly love there. Trust me. I have given their money's worth of in Philly. They have felt the brotherly love.
No. Us from Pennsylvania love our guys, right? Don't get me wrong.
Right. Yeah.
In general, Philly, like like Eagles fans, right? Phillies fans, just brotherly love. Okay, right? So
all the Eagles fan too, buddy.
So north of 195, that's where you get all the North Jersey people, kind of Central Jersey. There's a big debate about if Central Jersey exists. Is like, Giants, Jets, Yankees, all this and that. Here's the thing about New York City. In New York City, I find out, they're crazy. It's pretty hectic, right? But here's the thing. They're fine-tuned machines. They have a purpose. They want to go somewhere, right?
Right.
And because of how congested it is, they lessen the following space, right?
Yeah.
When you're trying to merge, guess what? You're going to get in there, right? But you have to make that intent. Yeah. You have to make that intent known and then force yourself in there. And PA drivers, I notice that like when I'm trying to merge and I'm trying to make that intent like I would like in New York or whatever, they're like, fuck you, I'm gonna run you over. You know what I mean? I'm gonna fucking kill you. You know what I mean? I don't understand them yet. Like, and I live down here now. Like I live in South Jersey now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I was gonna say, before we get closing out on our podcast here, is there anything, like, I'm gonna give you like an elevator minute. Like if someone walked up to you and asked you, hey, what is Freemasonry? What is the Widow Sons? What does that mean to you? And you got like a minute to kind of jumble everything that you have in your brain. What would be your 1 minute elevator?
So great question. 1 minute elevator speech. Okay. So what is Freemasonry? And I want to say this. I said, it's the oldest fraternity in existence right now, right? And if they don't know what a fraternity is, I'll explain into that. If they do know what a fraternity is, they're like, oh yeah, it's college, right? A bunch of, drunk kids, this and that, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. So in a fraternal sense, right, we're a group of people that want to help the community, that want to do philanthropy, that want to better each other and the community, right? And then if I get that fish hook, if I get that bite, then I'll start reeling them in, right? And then when they ask, what's the Widow Sons? I said the first and foremost thing I want to stand out and put first is we are not a club. We are a riding association. There's a very huge difference in that, right? Only because of there's a common misconception about the vest and the patches and the whole nine, right? And I want to say to them is, we're a group of Masons. Now, if the person I'm talking to is already a Mason, great, right? It covers the whole Freemasonry thing. If he's not, I'm pushing them to blue light first. Like, listen,
Right.
longing for anything, right? Do you have a longing for a sense of belonging, or do you have a longing to let's say make your community better, or to volunteer more, or to donate more? Like, hey, one qualifying question I asked, I was like, do you donate to anything? Do you donate to St. Jude's? Do you donate to anything as such? And if they do, I got a fish hook. Now I'm gonna start reeling them in. And the greatest thing about this craft is it fills any void you were to have. So if you're looking for a sense of belonging, the craft
You can find it.
provides, right? If you're
Mhm.
looking for, a sense of, and I'm sorry to say this, it's an actual factor of like importance, right? If you're looking to better yourself in that sense, well, we have the education for that. We can teach you ritual. You can come up the officer line, and that gives you a little bit of self-importance.
Correct.
I
Gives
for one,
self-esteem.
right? I for one am not. There's got to be a way to give him self-esteem without giving him that self-importance. Um, like my most hated title, to be honest, and I love it. Remember, it's a privilege. People just flat out call me Worshipful Master. Hey, Worshipful Master, how you doing? I'm sorry,
Yeah,
brother.
I didn't like being called worshipful master. Nope.
Yeah, yeah. You lose your name for a year, right? And everyone who's close to me knows, like, don't call him Worshipful Master. Call him brother, right? Treat him regular. Like, don't put me on this pedestal. I don't. I don't belong on a pedestal. You know what I mean? I'm just here to lead. Like, I'm just here to help, right?
Right.
And it's
I'm
I I
yeah, I'm murdering
Lose
that
your
word, but
name
go
for
ahead.
yeah.
I'm just a
I'm
beacon
sure.
of I'm just a pillar. I'm just a
There you go.
beacon of
Yeah, yeah.
light that's coming through. I'm just facilitator. There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
I put a tater in it, didn't I?
Yes. Yes. So yeah, that would be my elevator speech in a nutshell, right? Of course, it'd be a
Right.
little more
Yeah.
refined.
Right. Right. Right.
Now I'm cheating. I'm cheating because I'm actually part of the Grand Lodge membership committee, and they gave me a lot of tools for my chest.
Good.
Um,
Good.
Yeah, and as you see, I'm pretty open. I like to talk, right, to people
Right.
and meet new people and all this and that. So I just have that natural ability. I wouldn't call it an elevator talk. It was just me just talking to somebody.
Talking. Right. 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 We call it the elevator speech here because of like you just get trapped in an elevator and someone goes, "Hey, what's that?" Or you're standing somewhere out in public and you're on a you're sorting through clothes and somebody goes, What's that vest for?" Or someone asks, "What's the widow's sons?" Or they see a funny patch on the
Or
front. What?
what's that? Wait, hold on. There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Or what's
There you
that?
go.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
There you go.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, I
yeah.
got one on my. They're
Yeah.
gonna ask what that is.
That's awesome.
So that's just that one that 1 minute because you catch people's attention span for a minute, 2 minutes, if 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 they're open minded and they're into that therianthropy. I murdered that again. Uh, if they're into that type of stuff,
Philanthropy.
you're gonna catch them for therianthropy. There you go.
Yeah, you're
You're
right.
gonna catch them for yeah, you're gonna catch them for a minimum of 30 minutes. Easy, easy, especially when you start going down the rabbit holes and they're like, "Wait, what? You mean it comes from the Bible? Huh?
Yeah,
What do you mean? What do you mean there workman class? Like that's still today? It's still relevant today? Yeah. You go to any job you have that tears. But by the
yeah.
time we get to the end, we all know we're all the same. We've all been through the same exact shit.
Swimming in the same manner. Yeah,
We're making the same wages, corn, oil, and wine, buddy, corn, oil, and wine.
yeah, yeah.
But,
Man, I got so much more to
love
talk
that.
about. We're ending here. Oh man, it sucks.
Um,
We gotta come
buddy,
back.
we'll
We're gonna
we'll
have
definitely get you
yeah,
back
we're
on
gonna have
the
to have you again.
I would say we'll just have a yearly calendar that it just because by the time we have everybody like scheduled in, it's like, okay, 3 months from now, I got an open hole. All right, we got another open hole. Here we go. But yeah, it's definitely a great hearing your story. You were raised a master mason in 2012.
Man, he took me. Look at him.
You got your branding in 2020. Your current sitting master of your lodge in 2025.
21. Sorry.
And and 21. That's fine. That's fine. I got mine in 13. He got his in 16.
That's awesome.
So like I got my master mason in 08. He's got his in 16.
I'm
So
not
there's
worthy. I'm not worthy.
just the years of how like we how we come together. We met you at Grand Gathering and it was fucking fantastic. Now you're on our podcast and I
Yeah,
got to hear a little
fantastic.
bit more of your story. I got to hear your story, where you came from, who you are. Know that you're the same age as me, pretty close to it, which is fucking fantastic. Because I'm always hanging out with the younger guys and some of the older guys. But it's just nice hearing the stories of the light that you put out where you are, and you putting out the being part of the degree work means a lot. That means you got knowledge, means you're putting in the work. We don't need money. We don't need money to to give or donate. You're donating your time is worth more than money. So I applaud you for that, and I appreciate you coming on our podcast, bud. I
Thank
definitely
you.
appreciate that.
Thank you, brothers. Yeah. And you know what?
Yeah.
Next time, let's do it in person. I'll fly out to you. Let me know.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, we're
You got
gonna do
anything skills
that.
you'd like to say?
Show up. You
Yep.
can have this. You can be a
Yep.
part of this awesome brotherhood. Let's
Yeah,
do this
hell
brotherhood. I
yeah.
love you.
Mhm.
Should
Or
I
listen,
just didn't
110.
I was gonna say, if you need some knowledge on some of your M8, Gen 1, Gen 2, sounds like our brother Mavrick here does have some of that knowledge, because he was blowing my mind on some of the shit he says, and I thought I was fairly
Maverick's
knowledgeable
the
on
goat.
those. Yeah. I'm gonna pick his brain on some of that tuning and possibly
Turbo Kid.
that turbo. Like, dude, I done warned my old lady. Like, I want my motorcycle faster than my car, and I know my car is faster than my motorcycle currently. And I got a pretty built car. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm a gearhead, like you said, Maverick. I eat shit and
Yeah.
breathe. That's what I do for a living. I work on cars. I work on trucks. I want to make them go fast if it's mine. So
Yeah.
I applaud you. So I'm gonna steal your knowledge, or I'm gonna
Come.
let you enlighten some knowledge on me, brother.
Yeah, and
Definitely
you
enlighten
can
some
probably
knowledge
share
on me.
some with me too, because yep. I'm gonna leave it like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Awesome.
I don't have
Awesome.
anything else on my end. Brother Maverick, do you have anything else you'd like to leave us before we close on this good old podcast?
Sure. Again, I just like to say thank you for the opportunity. It was a pleasure meeting you guys. For everyone else listening in, if you're a brother, thank you. Thank you for what you do. If you're not a brother, if you're interested in being a brother, please, I'm not sure how it is in every other state. Ask one to be one. It takes nothing to ask a question. The only shots you lose is the shots you don't take, right? And we will, as Freemasons, as widow sons, we will help you to the very end, or as far as our cable tool allows. But this is what we're about, the brotherhood, right? And we're more than welcoming to anyone with questions or just inquiries or anything like that. It's about building us and building the brand, right? And that's what we're about. Yeah.
Awesome, brother.
Cool.
Awesome, brother. Well, good episode,
brothers, I had a
brothers.
great
Yes. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Very, very short. And we used to be just like an hour and 10 minutes. We're like, man, this feels long. But now, no,
Yeah.
it's definitely not long enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys going to the Florida rendezvous by any chance?
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
Okay.
Louisiana's the next.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
I got to get that on my calendar. Let's see if I can swing it.
Yep. November
Cool.
8th.
But that's a no. No. Yeah.
He's like, nope.
All right.
But
Next year.
all
Next year we'll
right,
get
brothers.
together. All right.